Woo! What's up, everybody? Wait till a bunch of people get in. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let the notification ring and do its thing. I want to speak about these incidents, especially the most recent one when it comes to policing. On this COVID. Hopefully, you and yours are safe doing whatever protests or unrest. What's up, Vision? NC worker. Woo! What's up? What's up? What's up? Get a few more people, then we're going to start getting in. Going to talk a little bit about compliance and what the hell's going on. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? And I'm going to tell you, looking at that video, it doesn't look good for me. I'll tell you that much. That's some disturbing stuff, man. Some disturbing stuff. Seriously. I'm starting to wonder what happened to being a cop and going hands on. But I also know the reason why it's like that. Yep, Aaron Neal. A real deal Aaron motherfucking Neal. How you feeling, man? See, you can't really use the argument that he's reaching for something when you could have prevented that in its entirety. That's what's up. You can't really say, I'm going in when, and I'm going to shoot this guy when it's easily preventable. Let's be totally honest about this shit, man. People are claiming he had a knife. I looked at the video, I didn't notice a knife. May have to look at it again. But I didn't see a knife the first few times I seen it. At the same time, if you really think he's a danger to himself or society, you take action. You don't just let him get in the car and reach or grab something. A little bit on the ridiculousness side. I'm just wondering how could they justify that? I'm not going anti-cop because obviously I'm one, but something about that disturbed me. You were afraid to do anything while he was walking, but you wait till he gets in the car, you put 7 in him. That's a little disturbing. I try my best to look at a situation if I was in it. I don't like the Monday morning quarterback, but a lot of these cases I've seen officers go into a situation with a guy unarmed, no backup, and he's running from the suspect. It's a little unusual, man. Well, he walked away. Well, if he doesn't comply, make him comply. You don't let him go back into the car. You fight like hell to let him get back into the car. God knows what he had in it. I usually don't try to second guess what another officer does, but I've been in situations like that numerous times personally. And yes, I will talk to the civilian populace as well when it comes to compliance. But first, I'm going to acknowledge the lack of tactics that the police officers on the scene did not perform. Let's say he did have a knife on him. There wasn't enough distance because 21-foot rule, 7 yards. I could get a knife out of my pocket faster. You could get a holster out. Hell, even with a knife in my hand, I could just slice your wrist and you're disabled in that hand. You didn't take proper distancing. Because the one thing I could really say about the Baltimore police, we believe in fighting. It's kind of like the untold motto. And I remember BGS saying it. If you want to get in a fight, go to Baltimore. If you want to get shot, go to LA. I'm not totally aware where this incident happened, but if anybody in the chat knows where the department and the jurisdiction, I would be grateful if you could type it in. And some people are going to say, well, he had a warrant. Okay, he has a warrant. Many of people have a warrant. Hell, some of my listeners probably got a warrant and don't even know it. It happens to us all. Trust me. If if it was a warrant, okay, you grab them, you tackle them, you put them on the ground. You even if you got to punch them in the face or Shawn Michaels super kick them. I mean, do something. Take action. I never understood what this fear of taking action is for. Oh my God, if I do this, they're going to charge me. I'm scared. No, I've always said this when it comes to defense tactics. This may be a little controversial. Basic wrestling, basic boxing, basic ground fighting. Practice it at least 2 to 3 times a week. Come on, at least minimal. The Professor Cerulean Gray and myself have generously given you the Gray Faulkner Initiative. But in 2020, we're still talking about how we're tired of police brutality, quote and unquote, but we don't want to be the police, quote and unquote. I keep telling you this. This is a culture shock, man. It's a culture shock. You have Rocket King. Woo! What's up, man? You can't have somebody coming from outside of your community, outside of your culture. I don't care if you trade them up for, even though people think it's just 6 months. No, it's actually almost a year at the academy, almost 10 and a half, closer to a year, because you still have field training. I was on the Amazing Lucas show, and he was joking, but I knew he was joking. But he did appreciate my insight. You can't expect people who don't understand your culture to automatically empathize. It doesn't make sense. How can I prove this? Put my ass in the middle of Hong Kong, and I'm going to be lost for a minute. Eventually, I'm either going to have to learn the language and learn the culture and learn how to survive, or I'll die. Chaos, what's up? Eventually, as black people, especially black men, we're going to have to take a lot of this in our own hands. Meaning, you're going to have to step up and become police. You're going to have to get the Gray Faulkner Initiative, and you're going to have to go by it accordingly. Don't give me that a black man don't belong in this white man's police department, military, or fire department. Doesn't work that way. That's just told to keep you out of it so they can get the jobs. When you're just as qualified, if not more. So I'm looking at the tactics. This guy is walking a little bit too freely for a guy who's wanted on a warrant, allegedly. For the 3 or 4 officers that are there at the scene, I'm noticing everybody's gun out. Everybody's gun is out. So if he has a weapon, okay, that makes sense. But you want to get space so you can have more time to react. Then they lose basically sight of him when he starts walking. At that moment, if he was unarmed, you go for it. You go for a taser. If necessary, you go for a tackle. Hell, you go for any takedown or throw.
What's up?
So, what's up, man? Ladies and gentlemen, the chief engineer, Chaos Rain.
Yes. Make sure my sound is good. There's no background. If I'm clear.
You're good.
All right, good. Continue.
So I'm piquing the curiosity, and I'm like, why aren't you tackling this guy? Why aren't you hitting him? Why aren't you using your, like, why aren't you doing this shit? Now, if he has a knife, okay, you judge it accordingly. But if he was unarmed, and that's what he appeared to be, but you learn in law enforcement, you don't go off the first investigation, nor do you go off the first inkling. Facts over feelings. That's why I cannot confirm nor deny if he was armed or not. I'm not making an excuse. That's just how the way I roll. I don't go by feelings. I go by facts. Then you let him get in his car, sit in the seat, and you ring shots on him. I swear to God, folks, when I heard the shots and I looked at it, it seemed surreal. It didn't seem real. I thought somebody was making this shit up. I thought it was like some low budget sound effects or something. but you're holding on to a shirt and you're shooting. So at this time, I can tell you're in fear. And by nature and by law, I cannot tell you what's your level of fear. I can't tell Chaos what's his level of fear. I can't tell my boy Sean what's his level of fear. No one can tell me my level of fear. 5'5" woman who weighs 135 pounds is going to have a different fear than a guy who's 5'10", 280 pounds. 6'5". I mean, it's going to be different. But when I saw that guy, in my heart of hearts, in all honesty, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He didn't have a follow-up plan after he said freeze and the guy walked. His brain froze. I could look at the tape and I could say he had a brain fart. He didn't have a backup plan when he pulled his gun out. He thought the gun was the end all be all, the alpha and omega. And once the guy started walking, he was shook. The guy called his bluff, to be honest. And he wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for, tactically sound enough to go for a takedown or a strike or any other type of grapple or submission hold or restraint hold. Nothing. He was baffled. He's the same kind of guy who probably didn't have a fight in his life, which I'll give you a little story about my academy experience. We're about 63 deep in my academy class. We had one of the instructors ask a question, and he stated, which I could say verbatim, how many of you have never been in a physical confrontation or a fight in your life? And about 15 people out of that class of 63 raised their hand and stood up. And the instructor said, and I quote, "We're going to have to hit you. We're going to have to hit you in defense tactics. Your first fight should not be for your life in the streets of Baltimore, because you don't know how to react if you get punched in the face." A lot of people.
Really?
Yeah,
All right, I'm
a lot
gonna
of
sit back
people.
and listen. You got the floor, bro. Hold on.
A lot of people. I'll
And
be
before you
honest with you.
continue, please, if we have more than 10 people watch this video, hit the like button. This is very educational. This is something young black men should understand, learn, and support the channel. This is something that y'all guys got to go back re-listen. I'll put my for donation. But continue, Charles. I'm just doing something.
Oh yeah. See, a lot of times when I look at and remember back what that instructor said, it didn't dawn on me till a few recent years. A lot of people on this planet have never been hit in the face and decide to take on this type of profession.
Shit, I got punched in the face. It was a long time though.
which is
But Charles, before you continue,
the reason why I say that is because of the fact that you fight like you train, so you should train like you fight. If you're training and what you revert back to is cowering in the fetal position while people pummel you to and fro, that's what you're going to go back to. If you get hit in the face and you smile, and the next thing you do is unleash hell, that's what you've trained to do, and that's what you reacted to do. That's what you're going to go revert back to. When you look at the video and the cops pulled out their weapons and the guy kept walking, they were stuck. Their brains collapsed. I went to a scene one time, which is funny to me because my ex girlfriend, we weren't even together yet. We were still friends. Cherie was there. It was actually her sister involved and a domestic. I see these cops. As a matter of fact, I was working overtime too. I see these cops, four cops struggling to take this one guy down. And I get up there on the steps because, in Baltimore, we have a lot of porches. I tell all the cops, move, get out the way. You're going to make it even harder than what it is. If you're a good wrestler, you know what I'm doing. I go for a high crotch, lift him up in the air, go by the shoulders and head, and take him right down. It's a lot faster, more painful than that, but that's what happened. So, because of my training and experience, I was capable to do before cops wasn't. And I'm looking at it because going into the situation, you should really have multiple plans. And I'm not saying this from a statement of, haha, I'm better than them. No, I'm saying it from a realistic standpoint. Plenty of times I pull my weapon on people and people walk. You holster up and you either go for the takedown, clothesline, punch, kick, whatever, throw. Especially if they're unarmed. And once I understand they're unarmed. Yes, can people hide weapons on their body? Yes. And yes, every situation is different and circumstances always dictates. But when you have obviously there's nothing in the person's hands, you have to go about it a different way. Now, to inform people, can an unarmed person be shot legally? Yes. You have to take into consideration of the person's strength. If the average American male can bench press 135 pounds and I can bench press almost 500, that means by the raw numbers, I'm almost 4 times stronger than the average man. And let's say you put the average man as a cop. You put me on the street against a bunch of cops in hand to hand. Then on top of that, my years upon years upon years of wrestling and the level of experience in it. Then the boxing, then the MMA. Oh boy, that's gonna be a lot to take.
Yeah, man. You're gonna be dealing with a real gladiator.
That's gonna be a lot to take for the average officer.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, well, the officers always have training, but like I always say, not all men are created equal. Mm-hmm. The same thing can be said for police. Not all police are created equal. Yep. So, not every police officer trained that I do. Adrian Thomas, woo, American Negro, woo. Where's the donation button? Got to hit the Cash App, buddy.
Yeah, man, we don't deal with it. We don't deal with YouTube like that. YouTube goes.
I ain't trying to give them a third of my money.
You know I'm saying?
But here's the Cash App for y'all to donate, and it's also my ticker and my banner.
Yeah, and I will put the engineer too. Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
So where was I? So when you come upon these things, and back to the wait a minute, I remember where I was. About the unarmed shooting. Can you do it? Yes. One, the size and strength of the individual. Once again, I'm 5'10", 280 pounds. Pretty strong, pretty muscular guy. Can bench press nearly 500 pounds. Have experience in wrestling, collegiate wrestling, boxing, and MMA. The average cop can't handle that. Yes, they're trained. Yes, they meet the academy standards, but some people maximize the minimal while others exceed expectations. So we go by the rule of averages. The average cop will not be able to match that. by my strength alone, like I said earlier, what is it, about 3.5 times stronger, almost 4 times stronger than the average male in America. That's not rare. I mean, excuse me, that's rare. So you got to look at the next. The size and strength is one. The number of unarmed assailants is two. If you got about 4 guys kicking the shit out of you, yes, I'm. If I'm down on the ground and I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, yes, I'm shooting your ass. Even if I may be able to fight them off, guess what? All you need is one to get around your back, and you don't know what weapon they may have. Hell, they could be, like I said, unarmed, and it's really hard for anybody to fight 4 guys. Hell, it's hard for trained fighters to fight another trained fighter one on one. Number two, elevated fighting arts or system or ability. Meaning, if John Bones Jones is pissed off and you trying to arrest him and he says, come on, let's go at it. How many human beings on earth are going to take John Jones in a one-on-one fight clean? Nobody has yet. He's still technically undefeated. So I don't think too many cops can handle him one-on-one. So you look at the criteria for that. Was this guy some overpowering brute? No. Was there multiple suspects? No. Was this guy the second coming of Black Dynamite? No. Now, could Officer Faulkner react differently in a situation? Sure. If the situation turned bad, would he bite him a shot? Don't know. What I do see is the reason why you should not defund the police. Because you should want as much money to go into the police for proper training, for proper screening, to get the best applicants. In my personal opinion, I would want my police officers to constantly work on their physical fitness and their hand-to-hand combative skills. I don't know about you. When you call 911, you calling us to solve that damn problem. Then also, it was a breakdown in communication somewhere. Because the ugly thing about a video, you never seen would take place before, but you always see one point of view after. Depending on the jurisdiction, the body cams will be the most telling. Because it will show what, if there's 3 to 4 cops, it'll show 3 to 4 different point of views. 3-on-1 with the cops. If he did have a knife, hey, somebody pull out a taser if he's walking away. Even though when you do have a taser, an officer should have his gun at low ready anyway, in case the taser does not work in certain situations. But if he's unarmed, guess what? All 3 cops holster up and you bum rush that motherfucker. I'm not telling you anything that I wouldn't do or haven't done. There are times when I just didn't feel like fighting, so I talked the guy out of the fight. You got to use your verbal judo. And I'm working on my 8th dan in that black belt. When I could talk a person in or out of a fight. Like, look, man, why are you upset? We had a guy. He was so big. I mean, we had Roderick Dotson and Scotty Harker. Scotty Harker's around 6'6". Dotson's around 6'1", 6'2". The guy was so big and tall. Scotty Harker's about 6'6" and 330 pounds. And Scotty Harker had to look up to him. And he probably had another 75 pounds on Scotty, maybe 100. Of course, he had his shirt off. Of course, he was ready to fight. His balled up fist looked like an adult sized bowling ball. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, if he starts fighting, I'm just jumping on his back and putting 3 in his fucking shit. But take the time, assess the situation, give yourself a little bit of distance, take the time and walk slow. Talk to him. Hey, what's going on, man? I'm just a little upset. You upset with us, man? No. I'm upset with my punk ass family not taking care of my grandmother. You know, we're black people, we sensitive about our grandparents. So I understood. So I empathized with him, spoke to him like a human being. I said, man, don't worry about these jackasses. They don't want no heat from you. Man, I know. I'm about to whoop everybody's ass in the house and I take care of my grandmother. I said, you don't want to get yourself in trouble for that. How'd your grandmother feel, man? Then nobody be able to take care of her. If you get locked up, you're like, man, you know what? You're right. I'm going to calm myself down. I'm going to get me a little drink at the bar. I'm going to be back and make sure my grandmother's good. I said, you're a smart man. So then opened up the door and said, hey, y'all better not call us and y'all better not aggravate this goddamn man, or next time we're going to let this bear maul your ass. The family got it. The young man got it. Grandma was safe. He got his drink. Everything was cool. You give yourself time so you can react accordingly. Think about it if you had a guy with tombstone courage going gun-ho into the situation, guns blazing. He'd have looked at the guy and he'd have been so intimidated. Oh my God, freeze, police. And the guy walks off, or he doesn't hear him, and a lot of times. And then he's like, oh my God, he's so big. Because some people from other cultures do not empathize very well. They have almost little to no empathy. So the situation could have ended differently and disastrous. You could have got either yourself hurt as an officer or killed, or he killed or hurt the other guy. Just from not taking just a little bit more time to assess the situation. Then you have to use proper tactics. Am I angled at such a way where if I do get attacked or have to get him, could I put him at a disadvantage and end the fight quickly? When it's law enforcement, we ain't going no 5-minute rounds in the UFC for the championship. No. You can't do that. You want to end the fight as quickly as possible if you have to go that route. Meaning, I might just knee you in the damn quadricep and take you down. I might just go for a single or double leg. I might go for a palm strike to the nose. I might go for an uppercut to the chin. I might go for an arm drag. Hell, I might just tell you to sit down, and you'd probably just sit down. You got to assess the situation. Are you using your pepper spray? Are you using your taser? Is everything in working order, in optimal order, as a matter of fact? Hold on, folks.
As Charles handles that little affair, I'm checking right now. 9 people watching. Hit the like button, people. Share the stream. Donate to the cause. Charles Faulkner Jr. is dropping some serious information. I like to call it game. I call it life information. that this is something that you could understand, learn, apply. Hell, if you want to be a police officer, he's the best man to hit up.
Thank you for the cash app, Joe Blow, ladies lover. Sound like my
Oh,
boy Aaron.
it's working. It's working.
Sound like my boy Aaron. But
Am I working, Charles?
oh yeah, you sound clear.
Okay, good. I was like, continue.
But I look at these situations from the point of a scientist, and you got to look at common factors. The common factor to a lot of these situations, the majority of these situations, especially the ones you never hear the ones of the white officer killing the white suspect. It will never sell papers. It will never make front page news unless it's something as brutal as the one fella when he was half drunk and the police officer had his rifle and he's telling him to do multiple commands and crawl to me and have your hands on top of your head and cross your legs, and they shot him in the middle of the in the hallway of a hotel for nothing, where he shouldn't have to crawl to you. What you do is you pan him out, tell him to cross his legs and put his hands on top of his damn head, and you walk there slowly. And then you get on top of him, you put the weapon away safely, and you get on top of him and you detain him. Easy as pie. I've done it thousands of times. But yet, we still, in this country, in this community, I'll say, we don't believe, like in the Gray Faulkner initiatives, of who's better to police the community than you. Baltimore is roughly 70% black. We should have a 70%, if not higher, police department, but we're at like what, 48%? 50? This is the reason why you don't fuck up your record, because one little thing will make you unqualified. And guess where they're going to go? They're going to go to Carroll County, Anne Arundel County. They're going to go to every county and city but yours. The excuse is going to be, well, we try to get some black male applicants, but they can't keep their records clean. Bullshit. Bullshit again. And I like to say this. You got to preserve life as best as you can. Yes, I do believe in the rule and the doctrine. Sometimes the only way to save life is to take a life. But when you have a situation where you could have prevented a lot of shit, case and solved. Did a life need to be taken or threatened? No, because what should have happened was you take him to the ground and you hold him there. You ain't got to put him in any chokeholds or nothing. Just hold him in an arm lock or leg lock. And guess what? He'll tire out. I've done it with many a psych patients. They lose their faculties. I put them in a wrestling hold. I get wrist control of both of their wrists. They want to rock right, we'll go right. They want to rock left, we'll go left. Guess what? They're going to tire out because I don't care how tough or how crazy or how disturbed you are mentally. You need oxygen. Once again, even during that situation, people try to get their phones out and say, oh my God, police brutality. But the friends of his on York Road was like, yo, shut the fuck up. He's helping them. Can't you see he's just holding them and rocking them till he gets tired? Which is one of the times the community speak up for police. You don't hear that anymore in the news either, because they want to keep us at each other's necks, because a unified front is a scary motherfucker for the people at the top. Trust me on that one. But I also have to go into this, the level of training. The state of Maryland is one of the toughest, if not the toughest state to become a police officer, because you have so many hours and so many criteria to get your accreditation. Yes, you are a certified and accredited police officer, just as you are sworn. And it takes a lot of training to become an official police officer in the state of. Some states are not. Some states are actually more. How can I say it? Not more, but less restrictive. Like you, there's almost little to no bar requirements where you do a few things and they'll do a little ride alongs, especially if it's one of those little backwater towns or some shit. Do you really think he can handle being a police officer in Baltimore or New York or Miami or Chicago? Hell no. It'll be a culture shock to him because he wouldn't be able to go deal with the pace. Hell, he wouldn't be able to deal with the pace of the call volume. So when you have these situations, you have to take in consideration what's what started it. Was it on a view, meaning did the officer seen it on his own and conducted the situation without being called, or was it a call given from the dispatcher? Did somebody say he had a warrant and called him up there? Did somebody say, hey, was it a traffic stop? Who knows? I don't know yet. That's why I don't like to speak too early on a situation. I just said, honestly, the situation looks bad. It's never going to look good. The only time a police involved shooting is going to look good is when you have an active shooter and that guy's running into a school and he's trying to kill a bunch of students. That's the only time you're gonna have a unanimous, agreement that yeah, the police officers are right. We ain't going against that. Fuck that. Shoot that motherfucker up. Because guess what? Even with Sandy Hook and Columbine and all that shit, guess what? Nobody would have questioned or blinked an eye if somebody would have shot them guys. Not one bit. King Rocket said, I picture a model cop as a medium between Andy Griffin, Judge Dredd, raw power, coupled with compassion. It's not necessarily about power. See, situations always dictate. There's sometimes I gotta go and talk to a person, and there's sometimes you go to a call, your gun's out. People always say, well, why do they always have their guns out? Because you got to know some situations you're going to. If I get a call for a burglary in progress, yes, my gun is going to be fucking out. Sorry, get over it. If I get a robbery in progress, yes, my gun is going to be out. Get over it. If I get an assault in progress, it depends on what type of assault. And even if it's hand to hand, I might have to do it because guess what? That person might be killing them. But once you see the guy turning away, he giving you his back, hey, that's when you just grab on him and you just drag him to the ground. I really start to wonder, like, what goes on in these guys' heads, even with Amber Geiger. You break into a person's house, you see the furniture's not yours, and you see a black guy in his underclothes watching football, eating a pizza, and you shoot him anyway. For what? Were you high? Were you drunk? Were you going to have sex with the guy? Who knows? I just find it disturbing that you didn't know where your fucking apartment was. No, that doesn't make sense. A lot of these police involved are just weird. Now, there are some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
I had a female friend of mine. The guy was trying to take the gun away from her, so she put a few in his ass. That's a good one.
Yeah, she put two in his dome, man. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna shoot you.
He physically tried to take her gun from her hand.
Mhm.
And the FBI statistic says you have an 80% chance if a gun's used against, if your gun's taken, it's going to be used against you.
Yeah.
Wish I had those odds in Vegas.
Mhm.
Who was high and who was on coke? You talking about Geiger? Possibly.
Yeah. Rick Geiger.
Um,
Did she came out of jail yet, bro?
nah, she ain't coming out of jail for a minute. She tried to do an appeal, which I told everybody that was going to happen. She's going to appeal it. I'm just wondering, like, what made the judge hug her? I mean, that same
Well,
judge.
you gotta understand, it's that Miss Ann syndrome, bro.
No,
A
it's
lot of
that.
that, and regardless they how they view Becky, they have that Miss Ann feeling towards her.
Oh yeah, you should see it. Like the
It makes you want
correctional officer plaited her hair, and
yeah.
then you had the judge coming over to hug her. That same judge, I wonder how many black young men did she sent to prison? Did she hug them all?
Nah, man, she sent them with a smile on her face.
Well, here it is. You sent her with a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
See, people forget about the Bible and Ecclesiastes when there's a season, right? There's time for peace and there's a time for war.
Mm-hmm. But they left that out when it comes to white people, though, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Even Hammurabi's code set it out for an eye.
mm-hmm. They're gonna say, "What you? They will kill you." You know why black people really fear white people, bro? Because they feel that is disobeying God.
It's somewhat that, but it's also this.
Mm-hmm.
Black people are docile.
Mm-hmm.
Black people are like an elephant when it was a baby being tied around a small tree.
Yeah.
They're so conditioned that by the time it becomes this great big elephant that weighs tons of pounds, and you tie it up to that tree, it will not move because it's so conditioned
Mm-hmm.
not to.
Yep.
And you wonder why. You wonder why. You're so conditioned to forgive everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You're so conditioned to love thyself, to love everyone, but you hate thyself.
Mm-hmm.
I had more black people quicker to call me nigger than a white person.
Mm-hmm.
They will go out of their way to prove their hate.
Yeah.
Your women don't even are ashamed to wear their hair.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna fight you for that. Say what? I don't know why you see. It's like this, bro. If the black man en masse, if you ask them privately and they do a poll, you ever notice that no woman ever did a poll say, how you feel if the woman never had a perm and just rock their actual natural hair that's naturally puffy? You'll never see no
You
black woman ever do a poll on that. You know why? Because on the average, if the man really said it, they would keep her say, all right, you had your actual hair.
uh-huh.
That's why because they know say, you're gonna like this fucking fake fucking hair I put in my head.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call it. I said it's just the illusion of inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately with a lot of people, this is also a marker within law enforcement. You're going to empathize what you see. How many black people feel calmer when I pull them over compared to a white person? Not saying they're going to get unfairly treated by a white officer, but they're going to naturally feel calmer because you're going to feel a sense of relatability to what's closest to you.
You feel more protected as when your own coming
Mm-hmm.
in with a badge. You know what I'm saying? Thank God this black man's not gonna shoot me.
Yep, I've heard that several times.
It's
Now, I got to talk about a very controversial part of the show. It's the compliance part.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
we already talked about that. earlier today, but I want to hear your
Oh,
take on it.
oh, guess what?
Yeah.
Especially for black men, young and old. Your job
Mhm.
is not to hold court in that street. Your job is to survive.
Yes. To
I
live
keep
another day.
I keep telling you, there are dead man tells no tales. Remember that.
Mhm.
What you should do, hell, if you got to go to the ground and put your hands behind your head, do so.
And this is from another officer telling you this, not just for your pride, but to want to see come back, go back home to your family in one
Oh,
piece.
it's easy for you to say, also, father, you know, bullshit. I've been pulled over by gunpoint twice,
Mhm.
but stopped at gunpoint twice.
Mhm.
So when all these people talk about, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yes, I've been pulled over by gunpoint twice as a cop,
Mhm.
and they don't understand that we as a people have a little different things about us. So you're gonna have more relaxation when it's like, oh, I see a group of teenagers.
Mhm.
So when you see it, yeah, you're gonna have to comply. See, I wonder why people comply when they see a guy robbing them in the street and he's got a gun pointed at you. But when the police have a gun pointed at you, man, fuck this shit.
Charles, I never thought of that. Now that you mention that, I
And
think
people,
because they feel that the robber will kill them, but then they're thinking in mindset, well, he is the good guy. He's not gonna come out and shoot me in the back.
yeah,
Bullshit. You better
I,
comply,
I,
man.
I've always said it. Like, look, I'm not about no weak shit. Look, I'm about smart shit. Survive. Don't let your pride get you in some shit that you cannot pay for.
Mhm.
You can't handle it. If you got to go to the ground and put your hands behind your back once again, do so. You'd be surprised how many times we'll go to calls and you'll see some guy defending this woman, right? But yet, they don't even know what she does. So if the police are about to lock her up and you grab the police and they do something to you to disarm you or disable you, was it worth it?
Mhm.
When especially they had a warrant or they had some type of court documentation that had to be served. Is it worth it? They're like, wait a minute, so the good guys aren't supposed to shoot us. That is true. But a gun being pointed at you is still a gun being pointed at you. Use it wisely. You got to know and peak the situation. I look at this shit and I'm just like, black men gotta stop being emotional. I hate to blame the single mom phenomenon, but that's where I see all these emotional boys coming from. And if you look at them, they all just emotional. And it's a damn shame that they go out there carrying that emotional ass attitude in the real world. It's gonna slap the shit out of you in the face, man. It's an ugly, ugly fucking thing. I'm gonna post the link in the chat. Anybody want to come on and give their opinion?
Mhm.
They can come aboard. Like my man said, comply, take the L. Live to fight another day, man.
That's all black man could do right now at this point. And it goes back to what you're saying, Charles. It boils down to ego. And what are you willing to just to ignore, just to get out of that situation unscathed? Because last time I checked, men are thinkers, critical thinkers. You know that you have what a less percentage to survive the outcome with a law officer that's not part of your race that stop you, then higher chance when one of them is in badge uniform. You know, I mean, people got to pick their poison, bro. I mean, they could talk about all day, every day about, well, we got to assess the situation. Maybe we need to do more research of what caused. No, the end story is you got to be part of the police. End of story. We could speculate all the little stupid scenarios that led to his death. But unless you're part of that establishment, all you're going to see is the media going to give a template and a narrative that this man is bad and he had to be taken out. That's where it really lays out or boils down at the end of the day. So, people could keep playing this game that with these of power.
People always beg for power. Nobody's ever got power for begging. They got power for doing and taking. Number one, the one thing I want to see our brothers use their logic.
Yeah.
Get out of the gynocentric, feministic way of thinking. Think like a man.
Not
if you got a warrant,
Harvey think like a man, but actually think like a man because you are.
Yeah. Survive the situation. So you can't fight a situation half dead or paralyzed. And his poor, sweet mother, which she's a sweet, intelligent, you can tell she's a very intelligent lady, not only saddened that her son was shot, whether justified or not, but she's also saddened that people will try to fucking commit violence on his name. But yet, we let ourselves go out into the wilderness thinking that we're gonna solve this shit by just whining and begging. What is it gonna take? I want somebody to come up here and please tell me, what is it gonna take? Survive the situation. If you got a warrant, serve the warrant. Fuck it. You're still living.
Mm-hmm.
Fight it in court. Tell your people to get the best lawyer they could get. If it's something that's unjust or abusive, sue.
Yeah.
But what's the point? I'm pretty sure the mother would trade back any money she receives for her boy to be walking again. There's no amount of money that's going to cure that. Huh?
They'll do that in a heartbeat, bro.
This whole time, and I'm only speculating because all the information hasn't came out yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at it like it looks bad, man. Another brother passes on. Well, he's still living, but could have potentially passed on. But yeah, but yeah, we'll go March for a person, loot for a person. Um, you just look at it and you're like, wow, am I truly my brother's keeper, or do I just become his jailer? Is he a burden, or is he somebody special?
Hmm.
It's scary, man. It's heartbreaking.
I mean, to be honest with you, Charles, I've never watched the actual video. I'm not sure how long was the actual video of his death,
Oh, he's
but
still living.
it was like minutes.
Oh, he's still living.
Oh, he's alive. Oh, good. Oh, thank God.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he got shot back, yeah, he's paralyzed. Yeah. Hope he sued the fuck out of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If they get the pantsuit off of that department, I'm fucking with it. They deserve it.
Hmm.
And a failure to, there was a duty of act. You know what that was really called? That was called a charge of cowardice.
Yeah. You know, one thing, Charles, now that I think about it, I think out of all people, if there were enough black men in the law enforcement, right, they would be protected, but there would be more integrity in law enforcement if black men were so proprietary in these industries. Because
if black
I don't see no integrity coming from another race like
if
these other.
black men were the integral part of law enforcement in this country, it'd be so fucking heavily scrutinized. You go into the bathroom trying to do a number two, and here's some motherfucker handing you some toilet paper.
Mm,
It would be heavily scrutinized. That's how you know it would be some integrity.
yeah.
They might, but still got to investigate. Still got to do due process.
Yeah. Let's go through a system.
That's why I'm just looking at the brother. I'm like, I'm thinking, like, does he have something, mental illness or something? Or what the hell's going on? Was he drunk? I don't want to speak that into the air, but yeah, I know it's still early, but that was disturbing.
Hmm.
That was disturbing. I mean, how many times are we going to serve up our young men to the wolves? How many times?
Hmm. Those black men and black boys, especially younger black men, don't they get tired of being just too tired?
Well, I'm going to say this. I just look at it from a standpoint of that nobody wants to deal with it.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to do their part for the best of their ability. It's it's a very delicate situation, man. You got to deal with a grieving mother, the suspect, the cops, any situation. I don't even call him a suspect because we don't know what the fuck were they for. Everybody's guessing and speculating. crazy, man. What's up, Craig Harper? Woo. But when you come out with an initiative to prevent shit like this, people look at you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You, you're raising these boys to be effeminate and not just, you know, learn how to deal with a situation. Learn how to not. I'm going to see what my big sister, my mother would do in this situation. Though there may be great people raising you, but that doesn't make you a great person yourself. It's like if I ask my mother to make some food that she's not knowledgeable about, are there going to be hiccups? Yeah. Until you find people that can relate to you. Hmm. I'm just starting to really see some reason why we're just going through this shit aimlessly. You got people riding. Do you know what state and city this is placed in?
His shooting.
Yeah.
Does anybody know? 'Cause I know they were talking about it. It was making its rounds through social media. Maybe I should Google it. Yeah, let me do that. 1 second, people. All right. Where's my thing? Let's check.
Hmm.
Oh, snap. I didn't know this exists.
Hmm.
Mixer. All right, let me open another window, guys. All right. His name is Jacob Blake. Is that the dude? I think is that his name? I think so.
What is it?
All right,
Mm.
August 23rd, 2020, Jacob S. Blake, a 29-year-old African black man, was
Yep.
shot behind the scene. Okay. It's from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Mm.
Ooh, that state. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's a redneck state. Got it?
29.
29.
Ah, 29. Man.
Man, I don't know what year he was born, but if he just turned 20 or he might have turned 30, which I say roughly he could be either or. Damn. You're lucky, man, to live to even get to 30. And you think about it, Charles. I remember a dude from Georgia got killed, and he was like under 20. He was like mid 20s. Remember that dude? They said he was looking for a vacant house, and
Yeah.
some dude went up and killed. I wonder what happened to that. I heard much talk about that.
Died out.
Yeah, died out. Yeah.
You gotta look at it, right? Black men need to start voting for their choice. They should actually listen to who they put in these situations. What if the black community had the ability to make its own police department? I'm just shocked and appalled that I was seeing the part when they're doing CPR. And yes, shooting a person or maiming a person is a traumatic experience that I pray that nobody has to take. I mean, wow. You shot him in the back and he was allegedly reaching. Did you bother to find out what he was reaching? Oh, thank you. I'm just a little strange about it. Hmm. Hmm.
And what Craig Harb said, he should
Hmm.
keep upload. Let me see what he said.
I read all your damn comments and you heard me. You shoot an unarmed man, but damn coward sometimes. Like the bitch for it.
Hmm.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah,
hey, Red. Uh,
it is what it is, man. You know.
I'm just like, wow. See,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Hmm.
you can actually do a lot of these things, but certain criteria had to be met. I'm just like, either way, it's a dangerous gamble. Black men, don't play with your damn lives. Don't play with your damn lives, man. Treat your life like it's valuable. You can't go around seeing what your mom and your sister doing. You can't go around saying, I'm gonna be emotional. I'm gonna be a fucking hothead. You can't. You can't. What's the word I'm looking for? You can't be a curmudgeonous bastard interacting with people. If the police are gonna write you a ticket, let them write you a ticket. Just go to court. If they're gonna lock you up, file an appeal, then get your day back in court. It's too easy.
Yeah.
Hmm. But I guess they just want our sons to be little scared effeminate males, and that's it. No say, no nothing. Um, what's the percentage of black and white people in the rural areas? You get these cops who don't get as much action as the city cops.
Yep.
They'll come out, with their spick and span clothes on. You tell them, "Hey, what you doing in that corner? Get off the corner." "I'm walking, sir." And he's like, "Oh shit, he's really walking. I thought he would listen to me if I hold my trusty out."
They said, "Stop! You got a gun." Hey,
Exactly.
message from Craig.
I just hear shit like this. I'll be like, look,
I don't know what Craig's saying now. Let's check.
what's up? I wasn't looking at the chat.
Okay. I'm gonna look at it.
Man, I'm a Prince Hall. I'm around a bunch of cops every day, and they should not be shooting people in the back at all. And then taking out the words and shit. Huh.
Man, I'm Prince Hall. I'm around a bunch of cops and they're shooting people in the back unarmed. They take him down and not say, well then, or well when the video comes out, they'll find he was reaching it. Yeah. I know you're Mason. Okay. That's cool. Shout out to the Masons, I guess. And who's the trainee?
Well, you gotta.
Where
Yeah,
are
that's
the
true.
handcuffs,
Hmm.
Carl? You know the links in the chat. You could jump up. Anybody, including
See,
women. Yeah.
see, what's crazy is that a lot of people didn't want to acknowledge what if he was reaching for something. I mean, right now it's too much speculation. They're reviewing those body cams inch by inch, frame by frame. Best believe that. Best believe that shit. But the tactics were poor. Like I don't, if a police has to use their weapon, which is deadly force, okay, not a problem with it. But make sure that if you have to use it, that you're proficient in it. Emotion, you niggas stupid as fuck. You tell me back and say I'm emotional. Yeah, Craig's not the emotional type. Anybody else want to speak on it? They can come up on the panel. They can ask a few questions. I don't mind. I got a few extra minutes. So go ahead, hit that link. Get up your asses on here, and let's see what happens.
You know, it's interesting, Charles. I'm reading this book called I'll tell you what I'm reading right now. It's titled "Self-Hatred and Self-Defeat Towards the Reclamation of the African Mind," and there's a certain section in this book, first chapter, and it says here, and I'll read to people who want to hear. And it's by this. He took a quote from, what's the guy he took a quote from? I think it's Noel or Nealon. Nealon said, about the age of puberty, it was discovered there occurs a rapid thickening of the skull animal portion of the brain, then became supreme, ruling over the adult Negro organism. The stunt corneal growth accounts for the black man cultural immobility for thousands of years, as he was as at creation, done so that he remained without initiative, without innovativeness, without the ability to move forward. In other words, the thick skull wouldn't let his brain grow. The Negro had, and it seems always known about the thick head for, I think it's untold centuries. He had used it as a weapon of attack, the custom of Rams emphasizing mind. Some stupid shit. So he's saying because black people had thicker head skulls, that's what made why their brain's not that smart. You see how dumb, illogic that sounds, bro?
And believe it or not, somebody thought that was actual science.
Listen, they control the defiance of word, of language. And think about it, you if a regular Negro that is so much a liberal or conservative or one that reads white people's literature and they take that cold hard as fact, they will believe it. Just like some of them still go and harp about this fucking IQ test. And I say, if you go through their little shitty literature, they're saying no matter what it is, you're dumb. I'm putting you in captivity because you're dumb. You're an animal. I treat you as is. If I shoot you in the back, it's expected because you're dumb. You get me? You understand how your opponent thinks.
See, hey, Big Daddy and Craig Harper, come up on the panel. I want to hear what y'all got to say.
I just want to share that. I know that was
Yeah,
a
I mean that's what you're looked at by some people. I'm not going to say it's all of them, but some, yeah.
But it goes back again. We should be in these institutions because like always, do you want to leave your hands and especially in a field that protects citizens, I wouldn't trust that shit. If it's not us that's in these fields, shit, you're just gonna see the same recurrence. But think about this: if you watch the average video when an officer is confronted with a non-black person, they act so passive. They say, "Sir, put the gun down. Put the gun down, please. Stand back. Don't come closer. Don't come closer." They try to escape the person. I said, "What? What?" Well, as a brother, let it rip. Let the blood scatter. Unload one clip, reload, and unload again. But I tell you, man, preservation of self is a motherfucker, bro. See, black people understand if you're not practicing law of self-preservation, I don't know what is. Prince Hall Mason himself, Mr. Harper. What's good, brother?
What's up, Craig Harper?
Yo, what up? What up?
What's good?
Not much.
Let me try to get my headphones in real quick.
Okay, Big Daddy, press the link. Press the link and come up.
Okay. Damn, I can't get my headphones. I left my damn headphones at work.
Well, you loud and clear, so you're good.
Yeah, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You don't be shooting nobody in the damn back. I don't give a fuck what this Big Daddy nigga say. I don't give a fuck about that. You don't shoot nobody in the goddamn back unarmed in front of their kids, dog. This shouldn't even take me that long to say anything. I don't even have to say nothing. This self-explanatory. You don't shoot nobody in the goddamn back in front of their kids unarmed. You a fucking coward. You a fucking loser and a bum. And you shouldn't be having a goddamn badge or a strap on you. Period. Motherfucker, making up excuses for this motherfucker, man. Fuck out of here. That's what the fuck's wrong with black men now. Quit making up excuses. He did the shit he shouldn't have did. He fucked up. He a dumb motherfucker, and he should get what the fuck he deserved. And I hope that kid lives. Shot that man in front of his goddamn family. And this clown ass motherfucker in the chat room trying to make up excuses. I'm black. Fuck you. You ain't black. Nigga, you just black on the outside. Period. That's what you is. So I don't want to, you get up on this panel and talk that stupid shit if you want to. I don't want to hear that.
You done, nigga?
So yeah.
You done talking?
I don't want to hear that shit, man. You shot him in the back. You shot him in front of his kids, and he was unarmed. If you a real motherfucking dude, then you'll go take him down.
Man, but you know what? That's the fucking emotional bitch in you talking shit.
No, you the emotional bitch, bro. You the emotional bitch. You the emotional bitch.
Yo,
lame ass cornball bum ass motherfucker. Fuck what you talking about. Fuck what you talking about.
Fellas, I had to mute you both. I don't mind the debating, but you got to give each other time to talk, because when the playback comes, they're gonna just hear. Brr, 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 brr. All right, I'm gonna unmute you both. All right.
Check it out.
I ain't got no respect. Fuck that. I ain't got no respect. I ain't got no respect. I ain't got no respect for you. You ain't a motherfucking man. You just a bitch. You ain't a motherfucking man. You ain't a motherfucking man. You a motherfucking bitch and a coward, nigga. You a motherfucking bitch and a coward, nigga.
Hold up, Craig. Just give him his time to. Just give him his time to speak.
I ain't judging you. You just a bitch. You defending that motherfucker, dog. You defending him.
Yo, Craig, just
you
give him.
Hey,
Craig, just let him say what he got to say real quick. I'm interested. Okay, now what should
Have you read everything I said? Hey, Charles, check this out.
Hey, you gotta speak up, John. You sound
talk to me, dog. Talk to me. I'm right here. Talk to me, homie.
Hold up, Craig. Hold up.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Hold up, I can't hear.
Because you so emotional, I can't even talk.
Hold on.
Man, you keep calling me emotional, man. You sound like a fucking pussy, dog. You sound like a pussy. I'll shoot you in your motherfucking back, nigga. I'll shoot you in your motherfucking back and spit in your motherfucking face.
Hold on. Fellas, chill out. Chill out. We just trying to have a usual debate. I don't mind it getting a little heated, but we got to give each other their respect and let them get their words out, whether we agree with them or not. Cool? Because I got respect for both of y'all, man. I'm gonna mute you both. All
All
right.
right, Mike,
Thanks,
unmute.
Greg.
Hey, check this out. Hey, all I'm saying is that this motherfucker, all right, we already know what the fuck we faced. Point blank, period. I'm as a black man, I've been a black man in this motherfucking skin for fucking 39 motherfucking years, man. I got 3 motherfucking kids, got a fucking wife, got a house, all this old bullshit. Yeah, I'm not finna
So what if somebody shoot you in the back in front of all them? What if somebody shoot your ass in the back in
Well,
front of them?
hold on, Craig. Hold on, Craig. Let him just get his words out.
Motherfucker, they got my nigga. You got 2 officers with fucking guns pointed at your motherfucking ass. What the fuck?
They don't supposed to shoot me in the fucking front arm, dog. What is you talking about? Nigga, you defending.
They gonna make it. You
Oh,
ain't gonna
see,
make it to see the
this the reason why black dudes don't get nowhere right here. This the reason why black dudes don't get nowhere right here.
You like them fucking single ass mamas. You like them single ass
mom. Man, I will smack the teeth out your goddamn mouth, you whole ass motherfucker. What the fuck you mean, cuz? What you mean? What is you talking about? You the motherfucking nigga.
Yo. Chill. All right, chill. We're trying to get a dialogue. We're trying to get a dialogue. We're trying to get a dialogue. See, number one, we shouldn't do number one, there can't be no personal attacks because you motherfuckers don't know each other personally.
Nigga said he got 3 kids. Dude had 2 kids. What if I shoot you in the back in front of your kids and see how the fuck your wife like it, dog? And see how the fuck your wife like that shit.
Let me ask this question to Joe.
Say,
what is it, John or Joe?
Guess what?
Trinity, if you coming up here, Trinity, don't be on no dumb shit tonight. I'm not feeling
happen any motherfucker.
But what do you? I want to get John. I want to get John's.
Boy, niggas are sad, boy.
I want to get John's.
Sad ass shit. This the reason why I don't break bread with a lot of motherfuckers. You never know, you might be breaking bread with a motherfucker like this.
Nah.
Straight up. See, straight up. This
John,
a nigga with 3 kids and a wife. This a nigga with 3 kids and a wife.
You know what?
You talking like a white motherfucker.
Nigga. You must not be mad.
You talking like a white motherfucker.
Because I got too much to lose, nigga. Nigga, they shoot.
You don't know how you gonna react to the situation. You don't know how the fuck you gonna react to the situation.
What the fuck is wrong with your emotional ass? Nigga, stupid, nigga.
Man, you a fucking clown, man. Nigga, you know what? You the motherfucker that I would put 2 in, nigga. You the one that needs to get 2 put into your motherfucking ass, dog.
Yo, we gotta be careful. We don't want the stream to get shut down.
Yeah.
Cornball ass motherfucking goofball ass nigga.
Yo. Y'all gotta chill because
we know you
YouTube
we know who you listening to, but you know what? You don't know how to.
You a cornball, dog. You a cornball. You a fucking cornball, nigga.
Hey, Craig, hold up, Craig. Craig, out of respect for me, man.
You
my boy. You my boy. You one of my. John. Can I? You hear me speaking, right?
This nigga sound like a clown, man.
John.
You gonna sit there and walk? You gotta walk all the way and then try to go in your car?
Yo, John.
You mean to tell
Yo. So I gotta mute you.
Nigga, you mean
this one of them motherfuckers. You get into a fight with this motherfucker.
Hold up.
You get into a fight with this motherfucker, he gonna up the tool on you and shoot you because you beating him.
Yo. I hate muting people. I really do. We're men. We're grown ass men. You on my panel. I invited dudes up. Can I get my motherfucking respect, please? I respect y'all too greatly. Like motherfuckers, like, especially for Craig and John. Like y'all some of my day one.
Man, I love you to death, nigga. You my motherfucking nigga. I'm telling you. There ain't no way in hell, dog.
But just give me a second because this is the
This nigga sound like Tommy Sotomayor or some shit.
Hold up. But you gotta. But even if I don't, John, give me a second, John. Even if I don't like what he says, I'm at least gonna give him the words to at least express it. We're gonna be grown men about this, right, fellas?
Yo, yeah.
I don't allow you.
I don't want to get robust. We gotta be civil here.
You gotta be a little civil. Now. God damn it, you niggas made me had to break out a cigar. I thought I wasn't gonna smoke today.
Oh really? Damn, man. Shit.
But y'all know, y'all bullshit. Y'all know I'm lying. Oh yeah, this is a good LFD, by the way, if y'all wondering. LFD. But John, what's your point? What's your point? And I want to get your take because y'all some of my day ones. And sometimes I like it when people have different points of view because it's a learning point. I may not always agree with it, but it gives you something to think. So, John, what do you take after? Try not to cut each other off because we want to give everybody's full thought through, especially when people listen to the playbacks. All right, John, go.
Yeah, my thing. What I'm saying is, I'm saying the shit was wrong. The cops should not be justified. I hope they didn't. You know, they can't win the case because we've seen them win the case on things more difficult than this. All I'm saying is that if you're in the area with your kids in your car, all right, your fucking kids in the car, like I would be, and the fucking cops pull me over. Or whether or not, we don't even know if he pulled over. All we know is that he had the fucking video started, man, with 2 fucking cops with guns drawn on his motherfucking ass. For me to walk while they
Hey,
steady pointing
Chaos,
the
you got
gun,
some feedback, Chaos.
and for me to walk all the way around my fucking car. I mean, for me to walk all the way to my car door and open my door, nigga, that's like a fucking no-no. Like, you got niggas getting beat upside the head by the cops because they won't reach and get their fucking ID. And here this nigga go walking around the motherfucking car to go in this fucking car and open his car door. Of course, I'm not saying it was what. Of course, we know what's fucking wrong. At the end of the day, he didn't have a gun. We know he didn't have a knife. But guess what? Them cracking motherfuckers were scared. All right.
Oh yeah, we know that.
They were scared and they shot the man in the fucking back. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying this shit right because in the same sentence.
Hold on, Trinity. Hold on, Trinity. Hold on. Let him finish his thought.
In the same sentence, I said the shit was wrong. The shit is wrong. I'm just saying legally, not about how I feel. Legally, if them motherfuckers got that shit on camera saying that this motherfucker, they told this motherfucker not to move and he steady walking. And guess what? Why would you want to put your kids in a situation? Fuck what we talking about, nigga. I got 3 kids, so what? What if one of them fucking bullets would have hit them goddamn kids, man? We ain't even thinking. All you think about is motherfucking. Oh, another black man. Yeah, we right. But if we get killed so motherfucking much, they try to make us used to this shit. But I'm trying to tell you, this shit ain't right, dog. I'm just saying that the motherfucking shit was stupid for this nigga to take a risk like that, bro.
Oh yeah, that was.
Fucking alive.
I'll say this, fellas. I'll say this, fellas. Oh, I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Nah, but you know what? It don't matter because I can talk all motherfucking day. All I'm gonna say is, at the end of the day, I'm a man when I get off this motherfucker. I'm a man when I'm on this motherfucker. I'm gonna go back to my life with my 3 motherfucking kids and my wife that I take care of, nigga, in the pandemic, nigga. All right? Just like the next motherfucker. So say what the fuck you want to say. You can suck my dick, nigga. But I ain't putting my kids in no motherfucking risk.
No, let's not go back. Let's not go back into that.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to let them know.
We know that. We know
as black men, we can't pull them kind of stunts. So we can't do that shit. We don't.
See, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
We know it's wrong. We know. But I'm saying he's helping the motherfucker. I'm not gonna help him.
Arrested and not killed at the scene. White mass shooter. Do you know how many white men with guns have not been fucking murdered?
Yeah, we all know that. We all know that.
Always know how to apprehend a white man with a gun, but somehow, some fucking way, every black man unarmed gets shot and murdered at the fucking scene. You know what? I'm mad. I'm angry, and it's okay. It's okay.
They would have knocked the white boy.
It's okay for me to be angry.
Yeah,
listen, black people have suffered and endured too much fucking trauma not to be angry. Maybe it's time for us to be angry. I'm tired of watching black men being murdered. I'm tired of this shit. Without being called a bitter black woman. No. This is driving me fucking insane. You niggas need to get upset. You niggas need to stop asking why. You niggas need to start creating solutions.
We did.
If my black men are murdered, I cannot reproduce. That makes me very fucking angry. Y'all know I'm a sexual person. How the fuck am I gonna fuck if ain't no black men to fuck? Y'all niggas need to figure this shit out.
Hold on for a second.
Now,
see,
honestly, first I came on here to troll you, Charles. That's honestly, but I
hope not, because this is kind of a.
At first, I did come on here to troll you, but since you put me on blast, you caught me in my eye. But now I'm gonna speak. I'm traumatized. Every day I wake up and another black man is murdered and dead. Y'all need to figure this shit out. I'm tired of getting angry and seeing no fucking results. You niggas need to get angry.
See,
Angry enough
this is
to create fucking solutions.
hold on, Trinity. I'm about to say something. See, you got to understand this, right? And Craig will tell you because Craig's like my day one. So is John. So is a lot of people. So is Chaos. And as crazy as it may seem, so is Trinity. This is the reason why we say in the Gray Faulkner Initiative why you need more black police officers. This is the reason why. How many times have I said this, Craig? Oh, Craig dropped down.
Yeah, it'll probably come back.
He'll come back. I've said it many a times. I'm just looking at the guy like I don't know if he was just in a I don't give a fuck mode. I don't know if he was in. I don't know if he had a mental lapse.
That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. That something was off for the brother to do that shit. And I'm not saying the shit was right. All I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, me as a black man in this black skin for 39 motherfucking years, I know if I got a cop, got two fucking cops, white racist motherfuckers who will point guns in my motherfucking face, and I got my 3 kids in the car, it ain't no way in hell I'm about to walk around this motherfucking car and reach in my motherfucking car to get a bitch ass thing. Point blank, period. That shit is stupid. But I mean, I'm not saying this shit is right. Because at the end of the day, we found out after he got shot. Why the fuck we got to find out he was to the good after 7 shots in his back? That's what I'm saying.
I'm just looking at it like there are so many tactics that could have been used.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you're right. They could have wrestled him to the ground. They could have, you know what? They could have tried to I mean, goddamn, at that point, you know, shit, I'd rather motherfucker beat my motherfucking ass.
You could have struck him.
Something.
You could have used your nightstick.
But I'm saying
You could have nightsticked him. That's why. See, this is what I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of feedback.
No, hold on. Oh, but that's not me.
I'm gonna give everybody a little insider on the in-service that we go through every year to almost every 6 months, because there's certain in-services we go to. One is for every year for our certifications, and then we go to other. For those who think we don't go through a lot of training, we go through continuous training, whether it's in Power DMS through the computer, physically at the academy. The new academy where they move is now at the University of Baltimore. So you're literally there getting taught by lawyers, law professors, English professors, as we always were. So you're right there. So number one, incidents like this will end up being lessons and discussions we talk about in the in-service training. Okay? The do's and don'ts of law enforcement, especially in the modern era. So when you have this incident, it's good to have dialogue like this to talk about this. See, people look at, when I first said comply, believe it or not, Chaos and John, you know how many people looked at me like a stupid motherfucker? Why do black men need to comply? No, your job is to fucking survive, nigga. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
And even Craig said it. I know y'all two had a beef, but y'all was starting to calm down and y'all got a little heated like men do, but y'all logic kicked in because y'all was saying the same shit. Really, if y'all notice.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though? Whenever you write something in the chat and the motherfucker read it a certain way, they think you just left it right there.
And that's why I was reading it in the chat, and that's why I told y'all to come up here. Because when you read something in the chat, it's a lot different than real time communication. But this is the part that I tell a lot of black men comply. They're going to somehow try to pull that he was reaching for something bullshit. They're going to go by body cam. They're going to go by that video. Jesus.
Charles, these my girls, right? These my kids right here, bro. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it all in one funky with you.
Oh,
That's my
she's
girl right
adorable.
there. That's my newborn boy. He was 1 year old, and that's my
Yeah,
2-year-old.
congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you, Javal Moore, for the cash app. And I got my 13-year-old son, so I feel a certain way putting him in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and like any good father would, just like Craig would agree with you. And you have adorable children, by the way.
Appreciate it.
And it's funny because I look at it not just from a cop. I also look at it as a black man. I look at it as from a black father. And people can say, why can't you just say you don't look at it? You look at it as a man and a father. Because honestly, let's tell the fucking truth. We live in two fucking distinct worlds.
Yeah.
And until we conquer and we start to actually monopolize and take back our police departments, it's your fucking cities, it's your police departments. You're gonna go through this shit over and over and over. That's why I always said you should not defund the police. You should give as much as you can allow to give the police. Why? Citizens should go on more ride-alongs so they can know what the police has to go through on a day-to-day basis. Citizens should have access to a mini or a mock academy and get placed through some trainings. So when you have those mock scenarios, people are more aware of how things are being coordinated and also carried out. So when you actually go through those situations, guess what? Now you can actually understand, wow, I went through this mock training with semi-munitions and I pulled my weapon because I was just scared. Okay, now I understand a little bit more. Okay, now you can start the thinking and you can start the scientific process. Okay, that means we need to train these officers even more highly. Would it take something like more best training? You know, people who speak to others and specialize in speaking. You have officers who specialize in speaking to people of mental handicaps or any type of disturbance of the brain. You have officers who are trained to deal with riots, whether if it's just speaking, whether if they have to use mace or gas. But you want to use the least amount of force as possible, which I think everybody can agree. And these conversations come up like, why were you so quick to carry the gun and you weren't tackling? You know why? Because a lot of these dudes in here, you know what happens? They get this tunnel vision. They get this goddamn tunnel vision. And instead of taking the time to talk or the time to think, guess what? I've had people pulled off on me when I pulled them over. Still had the ID. Guess what? Is it worth driving 110 miles per hour and crashing into somebody? No. Is it worth forcing him to do the same? No. You live to fight another day. The average police officer career is what, 20, 25 years. You got a long time to go after a bad guy. Unless the guy was readily armed. I mean, if they got a better camera view, which is going to be the big telltale picture, by the way.
Yeah.
That's going to be the telltale sign is once and if they're one of the jurisdictions that have body cameras, I think they are. That's going to give you the real telltale signs of what the fuck happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to go by every point of view from each officer.
And they're going
Because,
to in the whole environment, every angle say, well, this nigger was breaching something. No, he's not. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna show if he was or wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say I thought he was reaching for something. No, look, you got to be careful because
I mean, honestly, looking at the video, dude didn't even get a chance to even pull nothing. They pulled his dude pulled his shirt and put the caps in him before he could even really just reach. Well, maybe I'm looking wrong, but I'm saying all that extra shit going around the car and all of those dumb shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the shit right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying shit could have been done differently to where he's still alive. I'm stop. Yes, sir. No, sir. Get the ticket. I pay the motherfucker whatever and go on by my goddamn business with my 3 kids.
Does anybody know how it started?
Nah, nobody knows how it started. We just know.
If they got the actual video, that would be helpful. But this is my house. In regards to the outcome and the conclusion of the event, right? You know, when police open fire, usually it's something when you know somebody's pulling a weapon on you. And this is what goes back again why black men have seen majority of the police in their major cities, because when you watch videos of them interact with non-black people, it's totally different outcome in regards when they pull a weapon and start firing. Now, don't get me wrong, they do shoot on their own people, but it's not really, shown on video on the average. When you see on video, you always see them trying to hope to de-escalate the problem, trying to stop or neutralize the person without actually killing them. But when it's us, they have to always show ruthless aggression to instill that fear, to let saying I'm gonna kill you with impunity, if you're not careful. And I'm gonna say this: it's gonna come to a point that most people that's law enforcement, they should be living in the neighborhoods that they're serving in the streets. Because now that I'm thinking about it, Charles, when they sit there and don't pull the same trigger on their own, it's because, to be honest with you, it's because they live amongst other white people. If they know they kill one of their own for whatever reason, they're going to have to face the whole community.
That's true. That's a fact. And I want to say this is going to take me less than a minute. Now, it's time to galvanize as melanated people globally. I don't give a fuck if you're Christian, if you Muslim, if you're a witch, if you atheist, if you high class, low class, if you're a bum on the streets, if you got melanin in your skin, what we need to stop doing is being separatist. Because at the end of the day, they're not killing us because we Christian. They're not killing us because we Muslim. They're not killing us because we witches. They're not killing us because we're homeless. They're not killing us because we're rich. They're killing us because they do not like us because of our color. It's a war strategy. They are already galvanized as white people. Period. So you don't hear them separating themselves simply because they're Jews. Even if they're Jews or Russians or Irish, they always go underneath that white supremacist umbrella. And that's what we need to do. We need to come up under our own fucking umbrella. Galvanize together and stop with these petty fucking arguments. And stop trying to be so fucking separate because you think you about to get some butter biscuits. Ain't no butter biscuits buttery enough for you not to get shot in the middle of the fucking street. It's a program, it's a fucking system that you're up against. And you're not going to win if you don't have no backing. Now, this is what I want to say. Niggas need to get angry. And when I say niggas, because some niggas go, I'm not a nigga, I'm not black, and all this type of shit. I've been through my own phase. I get it. But at the end of the day, we need to galvanize with people that think like us, people that just want us to live and survive, people that want to breed with other black people, people that want to commune with other black people, people that it's like, we just need to act like we need to find some group esteem. Period. We don't have no group esteem. That's why we always trying to figure out a way to be separate from the next black person. Charles, you want to separate yourself from him because he's an officer. Oh, you a snitch. Oh, you working with the man. Okay, well, listen. He does not have that same ideology. Okay, at the end of the day, all you have to do is talk to somebody for 5-10 minutes and realize what their ideology is. He's a black man. He's for black people. Just because he wears a uniform, that has nothing to do with his ideology. He's working to survive. Just like the rest of you niggas is working for the quote unquote white man. We're on a white man's platform right now speaking. So y'all need to go ahead and just quit with that bullshit. Now, are there some black
Actually,
cops?
it's a white woman's platform. But
Well,
continue.
white woman's platform. But what I'm saying is, are there some black cops that are just completely butter biscuit out? Of course. That's not the point. There's some broke ass homeless. I met a homeless man, a black homeless man, talking about how he hates black people. So it ain't got nothing to do with your socio-economics. It ain't got nothing to do with your uniform. It has everything to do with your ideology. All you have to do is sit there and talk to a person of melanated descent and see what that motherfucker got to say. And by the way he talks about other black people, then you'll start to see what that man thinks.
I have a question. I have a question. Anybody know the jurisdiction or the city where this happened?
No, I don't know. I stopped. Listen, I stopped paying attention to unarmed black men shootings a long time ago because I'm tired of getting hyping myself
Because
up.
it's funny because I'm trying to figure out a picture before the news hits on it. I may be right, but I'm only using a professional opinion. If you really want to hear my professional opinion, give me a woo in the chat in the panel. My professional opinion is such. I'm trying to see if they had a car stop or somebody from. I don't know if he had his kids. He was picking them up. It might have been from whoever was the person who he's alleged to, offend during the domestic violence over that warrant. Who knows? Till we get more information. They probably treated it like a felony stop, and instead of once they had him out the car, they said they tussled with him, which I don't think anybody was recording then except the cops that they were wearing body cameras. I think it was fear. Yeah, you could tell that. It was nervousness. It was like as soon as they pulled the guns out and he walked, like I said earlier, their plan backfired. Instead of saying, you know what, he has a warrant on him and we're taking you to jail, you have a good one. You just do what you got to do. Like you grab him, take him to the ground, wrestle him to the ground, do whatever you got to do. It's not having a backup plan and holstering up.
Can we stop, Charles? Can we stop saying that these cops were afraid? Because you don't become a cop and just be afraid. You're not. Cops are not afraid, and they go into battle.
Okay. Trinity, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a police officer?
Never.
How long have I been a police officer?
Forever. I guess I
So
don't know.
So
but can we just at least stop giving them
I'm not finished. So who would be the expert opinion everybody would
you.
Let me finish then. Thank you. So, yes, police officers can be afraid. How do we know? They're human beings. Does that mean that they're going to be perfect? Fuck no. Fuck no. Does that make an excuse for doing a fucked up job? Fuck no. Because yeah, sometimes you got to work through your fear. Yeah, when I was in Iraq and motherfucker had machine gun fire and we all yelling like bitches, like ah, but you man the fuck up and you kept pressing on.
All I'm saying is this: I know that you're the professional in this situation, and you're the expert. I get that. Okay, you have way more experience than me. Of course, I'm not challenging you on that, but I'm just tired of them always using that same excuse. How many times is a white man gonna be so afraid of a black man that he murders him? I'm tired of it.
Hey, what's up, Simply Unique? Hey, Simply Unique. You don't mind coming on the panel since you have a little bit more information about it as well? Because I like to really hear this because then I can put the story together a little bit better in my head, if you don't mind. Because it's just weird. The situation, the way it started, and how the whole thing you see on video just looks so fucking weird. But it's gonna make you angry, and that's the reason why shit like that's done to get a rouse out of people. I keep I keep saying in my head, these motherfuckers want to push a race war like a motherfucker. They want to play. And I'm sorry, people may say that's fucked up to say, but you know me, I don't give a shit. I think somebody's really trying to play a race war because when the white guys get shot, you don't see the shit. You don't even see people. You don't even see white people get out their fucking houses to protest. Cully Jane, what's up, girl? Woo.
So, do you think that I'm pushing a waste for a narrative?
Um, this is the crazy thing about investigations. You got to keep an open mind. But once you start getting a closed mind before you gather your evidence and the entirety of the story, you're gonna fuck up your investigation. Now, if he was actually grabbing for a weapon, could I shoot him in the back? Yes. It may not be the popular thing to hear, but if he's grabbing for something that can come back to possibly harm me, yes. If he didn't and there was nothing there, you can see it plainly there, and your camera, if he's wearing one, sees it plain. That's gonna be a no go. I'm just so weirded out. Like, why you if I wish I could get multiple camera views because hey, what's up, Vonda? Woo! I'm because looking at it, was he armed or unarmed? Because some people trying to say, oh, he had a knife. No, motherfucker. I've been to calls like this where, hey, he got a warrant. I grabbed him, threw him against the car. Guess what? You're under arrest. Easy. Guy tried to run on me. I grabbed him by the collar of his shirt, gave him a hip toss, and he was on the ground, put him in a hook, and cuffs, sit his ass up, wait to the wagon.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Charles. Outside of police officers, okay. Now we all know that we have a problem with white police officers being scared by unarmed black men and murdering them. Okay, and getting away with murder simply because they have a badge. Now let's talk about the Karens of the world. They're not official, but you see them every day. I mean, now that we have cameras and everybody's recording them, if they're so afraid, why do Karens always find enough courage to come up on black people talking all that shit when they're so afraid?
Hmm.
I'm not trying to promote a race war, but at the end of the day, like I say, I'm not the brightest light bulb, but I do flicker every now and a fucking again. Now I see what's going on with my own eyes. It don't take a rocket scientist to see what is going on here. All these quote unquote white people. Now you are coming on black people, official or non-official, with their entitled attitude and doing damage and bringing harm to black people, and then act like they're victims and afraid after. How are we going to address this situation? Police officer or non-police officer? Are we going to still, I mean, how many incidents? I mean, and the reason why I'm angry, and yes, I am angry. So go ahead and label me the bitter black woman. Yes, I'm an angry black woman. How
No,
much longer are we going to sit here and philosophize the fear of these people and why they were justified in their fear? I'm tired.
number one, I'm going to answer your question very boldly.
Thank you.
Can I tell you what you're afraid of?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why am I afraid?
No, can I explain to another person what
Okay.
you fear or what your level of fear is? What will make you have fear? That's the hard part. Notice when I said earlier Time gives you all the strategy in the world. Let's say he did have a knife. Why are you so close? You can see all the police bunched up where it would have been a crossfire situation, friendly fire. Nobody's using tactics on subduing the man. If he turns his back on you, he's saying, "Take me." Oh. So when you actually look at this thing called fear, it's very hard to say, "Hey, she could do the job because she's afraid of X, Y, and Z." You don't know. And honestly, we don't know. It may not be the perfect answer. We cannot examine another person's level of fear. Can we examine if the person's physically fit to do the job? Yes. Can we examine if they're mentally fit to do the job? Yes. But some people unfortunately seem like they slip through the cracks. That's why a lot of these hurdles, I look at black people and it's like, look, you're gonna, especially black men, you're gonna have to comply. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to look in survival mode. Well, that's not the way we do. No, you're gonna have to look at survival mode. You can't be in. See, this is also another issue, Trinity, is that black men are targeted more so than black women. 1,000 times more so. You're not going to be looked at as a threat.
And why is that? Why are black men targeted?
How tall are you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
5'9",
How much do you weigh?
165, 5'9", 165, real thick thighs.
Because the average man your size is stronger. Because the average man your size is stronger. And then guess what happened? A lot of this negative stuff about black people, especially that started when it officially started. Yeah, you had some negative views in slavery, but what officially made this shit, the female? Oh, that's better. What officially made this shit started was when the movie came out. What was it? Damn, it was that Klan movie back in the 1900s. That's gonna come to me. When that movie came out about black people watermelon, whereas though
Well, well, right,
young girls were
the
endangered
race
in the.
war started way before that. It started in
No, that's what
Africa.
it was. Notice what I said. The official time. No, I know what it's called. It's called Birth of a Nation. Not the not the black one, but the white one back in the old days. When that's when officially a lot of those stereotypes began. That black men were sexual predators. Like we just gotta have it. Like we're bestial. Like we'll rape a woman and kill her. Type shit. So when we look at these situations, and the ugly truth is, guess what? Black men always been a threat. When you had that movie officially say that we eat watermelon chicken and we're sexual deviants, we should be feared, we're monstrous. Don't think that movie wasn't shown generation after generation after generation after generation, especially since, everything's at the tip of your fingertips. Hey, how you doing? You doing good? Especially when information and knowledge is at the tip of your fingertips, and then people still keep those self-taught beliefs that, well, if I don't subdue this big angry black man, I'm in trouble. Some people actually legitimately believe that shit. and I think it's shameful that if everything that's simply unique and Wanda is saying is true in the chat, that's a goddamn shame. You breaking up a fight between two women and the police are detaining you. Why? Because you're the threat. Why? Because you're the most threatening thing that they're gonna tackle before they go to two women. You don't even have to be a cop. How many motherfuckers, if you see 10 girls sitting at a step or on the porch staring at you, are you gonna be even more or just as much satisfied if we put like, like David Tool or somebody up there or somebody intimidating? They're gonna go to the threat, the perceived threat. Instead of calming the situation down, instead of talking to all sides, which it sounds like they may have in some way, but I think shit just got overreacted. And it's hard. It is fucking hard to be a man in this country. You can't even break up two women from fighting without being accosted and accused of being violent. I don't know. I hope if that's true, that's fucked up. Mm,
But
that
it
shit
goes
just
back again, Charles. In regards to women trying to control the situation amongst other females, I get it. A lot of women don't want to do it because of the fear factor, and but it's like this. The average woman today is very aggressive, like a man, bro. And a lot of women that's really feminine in nature and action, they don't know what to do with that. A woman that fights like a dude, scrapping. Almost you see some women even go as far as almost can kill another woman if you're not careful, because they don't have no type of remorse for actual life when it comes to other women. At least men, when we fight, we know if we had to do that, it'd be a last resort. And if we go into a scuffle, somebody might eventually die.
mhm.
Women, nah, just straight emotion. Like I just gotta beat this bitch, kill this bitch.
Yeah. Mm. I just look at it like a black man is always going to be looked at as a threat. See, a lot of times, even from our women at times, we see the world differently. We just do. Because you could understand it. If the shoe was on the other foot and you wage war, who are you going to attack? You going to attack the strong? You going to get the strongest out the way first, or you going to get the weaklings? You going to get the strongest out the way? I don't know how many times the good brother Cerulean have told you that this shit is a manufactured behavior that just became dormant. If that is true that he broke up a fight, I'm just like, so he's saying that I'm gonna be the man for the community. I'm gonna break these ladies up, which is commendable. You can't even break up two motherfuckers from fighting without fear of you getting shot by somebody in a damn police department. Now, is that means that all shootings are bad? No, hell no. But when you break it up a fight, and I'm just saying that's why those body cameras on other arcing view is gonna have to be told. It's very difficult. Mm. Uh-huh.
Oh, Sympian Unique, since you're in the chat room, can you please drop that Gray Faulkner initiative sweetie. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. And hello, Kylie Jean. Let me check the chat room. Can I get a chance to look at the chat room? Lady? Yeah. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, it must be ladies' night. We got all the ladies here. How much is the cover charge, man? I'm just it's shocking. Anytime the police is called, anytime the police is called, the police show up and go straight for the black man. Why? The threat. A lot of people are gonna try to look at the threat. And for some reason, I don't know why people automatically go and think the man's violent. Studies have shown that black men are the least violent towards their women. But once again, when you have propaganda, and what's the first weapon of war? It's propaganda, character assassination. When you make movies like Birth of a Nation, especially from people during that time who really didn't have you know, social media, they carried these thoughts in, and they were taught by their parents, and they taught their children, and this, that, and the fourth. Uh, and it's disturbing because when you look back into it, you're always gonna be at that slight disadvantage. Yeah. If a woman can protest and scream at the police is there all day long and not get arrested, why can't the dudes? Hmm. It's that preconceived notion that he's a threat. Well, hopefully that answered some of the question. Hmm.
I had a analogy when I was on. I think I was on a test channel. I'm not sure where I was, but when you find yourself in the belly of the beast, now you have three options. You can sit there and die. You can hope that the whale will spit you back up. Okay, but if they spit you back up, then the only thing you can do is wander and hope to be. Maybe you'll be swallowed by another beast. You can you can kill the beast from the inside out, become a virus to the beast, and everybody dies. Fine, that's another option. Or you can colonize the beast and become the beast. Now that's why I have so much respect for the Grey Faulkner Initiative because it basically teaches you how to colonize the beast. And that means become the beast. The same way that you were colonized mentally, uh, politically, emotionally, and physically, you were colonized. The same strategies that they use to colonize your mind, your culture, and everything about you, you can basically flip the game around and do the same thing. Integrate into these institutions of power. Don't try to fight it, become it and become better at it. Because obviously, working from the outside in is not working. Become the Trojan horse, you know,
Which is true.
and
And
there's no other way. As far as as far as me looking at the situation, there's no other way. Either you can keep complaining about injustices and watching your fellow man get murdered every day, or you can integrate these systems of power so you can make real change.
And this is the reason why Cerulean and myself said law enforcement's going to have to be male, black male. Not saying we can't have female cops who are black. I'm not saying that, but it's going to have to be predominantly black male who takes the charge in that part of the initiative. You're going to have to. I'm just looking at it from a crazy perspective. Imagine you breaking up a fight, police called, and then 2 to 3 officers are eyeing you down, trying to secure you any way I want it. Chaos, you have anything you want to add to it? I
Well,
would just say this, that this is a touchy ass subject. It hits home on so many levels, and it's going to hit home even if we get everything we want. It's still going to hit home. You still got a guy who's paralyzed for the rest of his life.
I think it's time for black men to stop complaining about black women and start going to gain real power. Because the only way that you're going to gain control over black women is getting control over your environment. And black women are not submitting to black men because black men are not holding the power. Now, that's not to say that we don't want to submit, but we don't see a reason why we should. And that's just me speaking personally. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not just being rebellious because it's in my nature. I'm being rebellious just because I can be. I mean, how the fuck you gonna tell me to submit when I see you submitting to other men? Regain power over this system, and then we're automatically gonna follow. We're not gonna have no fucking choice, and that's just the bottom line. And it's very simple. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
very
keep
simple.
and I'm gonna keep acting up. I mean, shit. Who gonna check me? I mean, hello. I mean, I'm not being funny or trying to challenge you, but I'm saying, who gonna you? Certainly not. You
Oh,
know,
me?
no, not you. I'm not. I'm just saying, as
Hmm.
a collective. You want me
Yeah.
to act right? Make me act right.
Well, that's the difference because if a woman wants to act right, that's a choice. That's a
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
that's a
well,
devout
well.
choice that
I'm
she makes
choosing to
upon
do what
her.
the fuck I want to do. You
So
know.
she got to deal with a certain level of person. You already know what happens to the end of dealing with some people who on a level that doesn't do shit for the rest of their lives. They're forgotten about.
Well, I mean, I don't see any consequences to my behavior. I mean, at the end of the day, I do what I want to do. So at the end of the day, like I'm just saying,
Uh-huh.
like like children, right? You
Uh-huh.
have to show your authority, and it doesn't mean just murdering your children. No, it's being creative and figuring out a way to rear your children and raise them in the right way. If they don't see that you have any authority, why would a child respect you? It's like what? I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. It is what the fuck it is.
Hmm.
I'm not. I mean, what?
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself. You got to think cognizantly. You really do. The black man in America has a strange relationship with everybody else. You're either scared of him or you just simply hate him. You know. uh, And when you look at these situations, it's like a bad taste in your mouth. Like if you're breaking up a fight and people are more interested in, okay, you got a warrant. You just got to take the system that you're already in, and you got to still infiltrate. You gotta form a union. You gotta form shields and barriers to keep us off the fucking frying pan going into the fire. Mm, mm, mm. Bless you for anybody sneeze. Oh, mm. This shit is heartbreaking. Chaos, you still there? Brenedy?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm
Looking
here.
at the.
I'm here. I just want to know
Oh,
no feedback.
okay.
I
Ah,
did.
I was
I
going
do.
through the chat room, and I know Vaughn. Yeah, have Vaughn ever came up here before? She ever did.
not yet. She could come up if she
I
likes.
know you be around Max Wanda, but you know Charles Faulkner. He treats every ladies nice, so don't be hesitant. Hit that link. You know. A matter of fact, I got some better. No, got no more
Well,
ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I might be rebellious, but I know one man that I think has the power to tame me.
Don't
But I'm not.
start.
But I'm not
No,
gonna.
not,
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna start.
no.
I'm not gonna start.
Thank you.
I mean, you you know it's fucked up. The guy, whether he had a warrant or not, tried to do something honorable, breaking up some women, whether he's related to the women or not. And somehow some jackass is gonna find this as a reason just to fucking destroy shit. Not even in the name sake of the guy. I keep forgetting his name. But you're doing it because you just want to destroy. You're doing it because, oh, we're frustrated. No, you're not. You riding it, you're doing dirty hustling. You riding off of another motherfucker's coattails. You don't even give a damn about the family.
Hold on, my internet went off. Hold on, can I hear me? Hello? This shit did not fuck up again. Oh man, it's working. Good.
I'm still here. But
Okay,
I
that's
was
what I
saying, I don't know what if everybody heard me, but it's gonna be some fools out there trying to fuck a riot, trying to destroy shit, trying to beat people up in this guy's name. And they're not doing it for a cause. They're not doing it to protect the community. They're doing it to destroy some shit. And it's sad. We're gonna have to really start pushing this agenda of not only police reform, but also checking the applicants. Because if you got a guy whose first information is to pull his weapon, and you're not in an immediate dangerous situation, because if they don't find a knife in that guy's hands, especially with that guy's body cam, it's gonna be hell to pay. Truly will be. Oh yeah, it's very heartbreaking, Rhonda. Very heartbreaking. Yeah. Now, any last words?
Um, what I'm I don't know, Charles. To be honest with you, I don't really do too much partying, depression, but like I said, this has to be well in the documents for people that can go back to figure out what to do in regards to a counter. I know most black people nowadays they know what to do on the average, but with the men, I mean it varies. I'm not telling men they should be cowards or do what they should be doing or do what they're not supposed to be doing. But no one's saying as long as we have another race of people policing our communities, we're gonna continue to have these problems. And it's gonna come to the point that black people just gonna have to get tired, just getting tired, period. It's not gonna Seeing this every time once in a while, it's not gonna benefit us in the long term.
Mm.
And think about it. What they do now is when they show these outcomes of black men getting killed during the high points of a election and all that stuff, it draws attention for all the politicians to, take advantage and say, look right here, I got the answer, I got the antidote. We all know they don't. So that's my last words.
Trinity.
Um, I think that we have the solution. I think that it's just as far as how we look at it. I think Louis Farrakhan had it right when he said we already got our soldiers. The only difference is that they just too busy killing each other. The gang members, okay, we got our soldiers already out here on the ground. Now we can change the minds of the people and get some group esteem and get us to fucking stop killing each other and become under one umbrella. Then we can galvanize ourselves. Stop stop arguing and separating ourselves about petty difference, talking about you a high value nigga, you a Pookie and Ray Ray, you this and you that. We need to galvanize under one umbrella, no matter your socio-economic, no matter your title, no matter your education. At the end of the day, we're at war. You might not know it, but we're gonna continue watching our people die around us. Don't matter uh, what title they hold. Uh, they imprisoned or or murdered just in your face in broad daylight, unarmed. Now you can philosophize their murders and why they deserve to die, or you can just just think about this shit and just come together as one people, one nation under blackness, and and just make a change because I'm tired of talking about it. I mean, how long we gonna continue philosophizing the murders of black men and black women just globally? How long we gonna continue watching this shit and just arguing with each other about why they deserved it or what they could have did not to not die? I mean, what the fuck?
Mm.
At this point, of course, I have no power by myself, but I do have a voice, and that's all I can use to just hopefully, we need to stop talking about it and make action. And the Great Falconer Initiative is one way. We got our soldiers already. We just need to galvanize them.
Mm. Beautiful words. Um, I have not much to say because I'm just like, do you not see what the last cop who did this shit got before you? The one before him and him and him. I'm just shocked because if the department tries to spin this any other way, I would be shocked. You gotta protect yourself at all times, black man. Yeah, yeah, I'm very good, you know, intentions, and we need to pay it. Pay attention to these stations and political positions, and you need to figure out, like the Gray Faulkner edition says, you're gonna have to be organized. You're gonna have to be someone who takes the plight of their future children and grandchildren in this country a little bit more seriously. There should be an outcry for justice to make sure they do the complete, relationship of this. Stop looking for other people to save you, black man and black woman. Be the saviors and the hero to your own narrative. That's all I gotta say. Be that damn change. I said already that you already know what to do. You literally had an initiative for little black boys to actually work. That's why you gotta actually appreciate your men while they're here. You gotta appreciate everything they do. Because you don't know if they're walking down the street getting a pack of skills. I don't know. Or at least the least you could do is actually support and start organizations wherever you are.
Yeah, and I want to say also, every government has a shadow government. You know, I support the idea of having vigilantes. Why don't us as black people have vigilantes? You know, a group of strong black men. It doesn't have to be a lot, a few Navy SEALs that'll go out and take care of these fucking problems under the radar. Okay,
Yep.
niggas that are, maybe you not operating, within the laws, but shit, you getting shit done. Hey, I'm with it.
Turn into a vigilante, huh?
Hey, I'm not the. Hey, I'm just saying, where them niggas at? Come on, bring it on. Take care of this shit.
You gotta, black men, protect yourselves. Even if that motherfucker tell you, hey, keep your hands top of your head, even if you're pulled over a car, hey, protect yourself. Be the cooler head and play smart. Your life is more to us than any dollar bill. Be the cooler head. As fucked up as this is, and God knows it's fucked up, we got to play the cooler head. This is the chance where we as a people are going to have to initiate full force already the Gray Faulkner Initiative, especially the law enforcement chapter. You're going to have to. There is nothing else I could see right now that would have an immediate effect for grooming these young men and giving them our blessing to protect us. Stop looking for others to protect you first. Protect yourselves first. Support and groom and support your young black men into being police officers, where the odds of this shit goes down tremendously. Seven times, I know. Some bullshit. If I ever seen it. Well, thank you, Trinity. Thank you, Chaos. Woo! And we're out.
Let the chaos reign.
Peace and love. And Cerulean Gray, you know what you